Okay. So, firstly, let me just give a brief introduction about the guest today that we have. Major Avinash Belwal, sir, who had served into the Indian Armed Forces and had immensely contributed to our country and our defense system. So, firstly, the podcast that today the intention behind the podcast is firstly to know about the Kashmir history, the Pahalgam attack, firstly, and how it happened, and also to understand that will these things be settled down at a point of time, or what would be the future of Kashmir. So, firstly, let us start the podcast with the first question itself, that the Pahalgam situation, definitely it had shook all of us. Like we have lost 26 innocent people. So firstly, let us go back to the Pahalgam attack. So, sir, I want to know from you about the whole situation and how you view the situation from your point of view.
Saman, thank you so much. First of all, for inviting me for this podcast. I am extremely delighted to understand that the young generation wants to understand about Kashmir, right, and the
Yeah.
issues that we are facing because uh, previously it was only the army and the government officials who were involved in this, but due to the recent developments, we have seen that the young generation has started taking up interest in these areas. They want to understand what is the issue and how we can resolve it. So if we talk about Kashmir, the history is very long. I think there are few movies you can watch. Sam Manekshaw, the recent one with by Vicky Kaushal. You will understand how these things have developed since the
Hmm.
independence of Kashmir, right? And well, I'm talking about basic. You can also go through books of Vijay, in which you will understand. You will get to read about the history of Kashmir and how the developments and how we have been fighting to keep that place intact. Thus, it is of strategic importance, and that is why the army has been deployed there. And we respect the culture of that place. Notwithstanding, we are not ready to give up that area in any cost, right?
Yep.
As far as Pahalgam attack is concerned, I would like to update you that this is a misadventure by Pakistan. Time and again, they have done the same. It's not the first time they have done. Last time there was Pulwama. Right? So
Hmm.
Kashmir has been facing the brunt for long, uh, ever since the independence has been given to Pakistan. But this time they have moved a little bit ahead by targeting the innocent civilians. नहीं है कि वहाँ पे चीजें पहले नहीं हो रही थी. It was always happening. With
Yep.
the army personnels, defense personnels, paramilitary forces, BSF were always on the front. They were facing it, but now they have stooped to a new low by targeting the civilians, right? And which is not accepted. And that is why we can see the large outcry across the country, and the government officials, the ministers, political parties, everyone has shown national integrity and unity in this cause, and we have replied to them the befitting manner by conducting Operation Sindoor. So yes,
Hmm.
it is not it is expected because it is an act of war. The moment your civilians population starts getting affected, it is an act of war. It is no more a guerrilla warfare. It is no more a fight for independence. It has become a war now, and India, as a free and democratic country, has replied them in a very befitting manner.
Mm, absolutely. So the question here lies that will we get POK? Because if we see now, Balochistan is an independent state now. So they have managed to do that. So I think that the chances of us getting POK has increased. Do you think so?
Uh, yeah, Samar, it is a very far-fetched question. Okay, and
Mm.
I don't think so. I'm at the right position to answer that because I'm sure there must be something in the plans. As far as Balochistan is concerned, yes, the Balochistan Liberation Army has declared themselves independent, but let us see how they are recognized by the UN or not. As far as POK is concerned, the name already it says that is Pak occupied Kashmir, so it is nowhere with Pakistan. So somewhere or the other, when we say POK, we totally believe that it is part of India and it is a part of us. How we can liberate it, how we get a control over it. I'll liberate is not the correct word. How we can get total control over it. Well, we will see in few days, maybe months, and I'm sure the government has some other plans. The defense has some or other plans. In answer to your question,
Because like I had done a podcast with Major Niti ma'am a few days ago, yeah. So I just asked her about the situation. The thing is that in Kashmir, most of the people, I'm not saying majority of them, but most of the people, they think that Kashmir should be an independent state. It shouldn't be of India's, neither it should be of Pakistan, but that should be independent state. So that is the major problem that we are facing. Once majority of them, or like 90% of them, also give the assurity that they want to belong to India, then I think the chances of us getting the POK would increase.
yeah. So this is the problem again, which is rooted deep to history of Kashmir. If
Hmm.
you go back to 1947, 48, the first war which happened between India and Pakistan started with the occupation of Kashmir. Because that time Maharaja Ranjit Singh did not want to join either Pakistan or India. So that
Hmm.
problem has not been sorted out till now. They are neither a part of Pakistan, they are neither, nor they are part of India. They are occupied by someone else. So yes, this is the issue, and a resolution to this issue will solve a lot of problems, especially in the northern region of India. And but the question is, are they self-sustaining? Is POK self-sustaining for it, right? Can they generate employment for its people? Can they generate that kind of fund for the people, right? So there are a lot of questions to answer. It is not as easy as said that they should be an independent country. There are many factors which go into it, right? So I'm sure people around there are more learned than us, and they will take everything in account and take a final call on this.
So you have served into the Kashmir.
Yes, I have been posted to Dras and Kargil area. I have spent around 2 years over there.
So how was your experience there? Like
Oh,
the
wonderful! I
situation
mean,
is pretty sensitive at that time also.
yeah, yeah. It is a I cherish that those moments. I somehow feel that that was one of the best tenure that I had. It is a wonderful place, beautiful place. Right, the people are amazing. Right, and the hospitality is amazing. Fruits are amazing. Right, and the picturesque views are amazing. Unfortunately, when I was there, especially in Dras region, there was not much of movement. But yes, the operational challenges are there. The challenge of weather is there, right?
Hmm.
Especially Dras being one of the coldest inhabited place across the world. The temperatures fall down to minus 30, minus 40, right? So that is where the point I was coming on to, that those areas, Gilgit, Baltistan, and Pak occupied Kashmir, uh, it is easier said and done that they must be independent country, but are they in a position to sustain themselves? Is the biggest
Yeah,
question to
absolutely
answer.
not. Mhm.
That is the biggest question to answer.
Yeah. So, talking about the insurgencies, like Northeast, the place from where I belong from Assam. So, in the 2000s, like when we were like kids, basically, so we had seen a lot of things like in Northeast happening. But fortunately, now things are very much good and settled down. But unfortunately, in Kashmir, of course, Kashmir's history has been like that. I can't compare it to Northeast, obviously, but still, we were expecting Kashmir to be a little bit less sensitive now because if we see like in a year or so, the economy of Kashmir was also increasing because of the tourism and everything. But in such a time, this situation happened, and of course, Operation Sindoor has been the biggest, or the, I mean, say. Nothing can compete the justice of Operation Sindoor. I mean, hats off to our armed forces and the government as well for you know giving the justice to the innocent people. So I would like to know about your take of Operation Sindoor. How much you think that this particular operation has been successful, and yeah, so I would like to know your point of view on that.
think the government has taken a strong stance by giving a befitting reply to Pakistan by, mobilizing the armed forces and
Hmm.
launching Operation Sindoor. As far as misadventure is concerned, so we have had previous misadventures also. I would not just say that Kashmir is the hot issue. We've had terrorist attacks at Mumbai also.
Yeah.
So it is not just about Kashmir. When these misadventures happen, they can happen anywhere, right? And what was important was that the miscreants should get a befitting reply, right? And which has been given with the help of Operation Sindhu, where the best part is that Indian armed forces have already targeted the terror outfits. You can say
Terror house. Hmm.
they did not hurt any military establishment. They did not hurt any civilian establishment. So well within the bounds of our high culture of the country and righteousness culture of our country, we have hit the right places. We've hit terror outfits, and we have seen that how they have been shaken by that. Right, the government of Pakistan has been shaken by that. There are video clips all over the internet where the defense minister of Pakistan has accepted that they are funding the military, sorry, terrorist outfits.
The
Now they
terror.
have been doing it for the last 15 to 20 years, or in fact 30 years they have quoted. So it is quite evident, right? And in the recent news that I was reading just a day, sorry, in the morning, that the IMF has though released the grant to them, but have asked for parliamentary sanction for the release the funds. So the things are improving, I would say, as far as the situation of India is concerned. They are improving, and that has happened because the government and the armed forces have been able to take these actions with the help of Operation Sindoor, and not just Operation Sindoor as far as moving inside and attacking the terror outfits, how the Indian armed forces have been able to thwart all the attacks by the Pakistani or the terrorist attacks. BSF has stopped, foiled some of the infiltrations. There were other operations like Nadir operation taking place in Kashmir. The air defense system has been immaculate by not letting the Pakistani air jets entering into our airspace. So I think there has been no stone left unturned as Operation Sindoor is concerned, and there has been no way we can say that Operation Sindoor is not a success. It has been a path-breaking success for the Indian armed force as well.
Yeah, absolutely. But here the question lies that the operation should have been little bit, longer period of time because like we were going to see India-Pakistan war eventually. But there are also a lot of question lies because our economy would be affected with the like a lot of people I have talked about this thing. I was like for the war, but a lot of people were against the war. So I questioned that. But eventually I have understood that our economy also would be affected immensely because if we see Ukraine and Russia war, we have seen very little um, downward of the economy of Russia, whereas like Ukraine had significantly been affected by it. The only reason that Russia has not been affected by that is because they had been a developed nation. And India is still a developing nation. Obviously, if we need a war, full-fledged war, then firstly we have to be little bit I would say, obviously, we have a very good defense system and everything, but still, we have to self-sufficient in that. And secondly, diplomacy has to be more stronger. I mean, we have a very good diplomat now, but even if we have a very strong diplomacy, still we are not, having such a any country as our back. If we keep aside Israel, we don't have back of any other country now. So, what's your take on that, like the India-Pakistan war?
Sarwan, that it is not correct to say that we don't have the back of any other country and only Israel is there. It's not. I don't think that's the correct statement. We obviously have the support of Russia. We have long
Russia.
historic terms with them. USA has always been there supporting us, even if, in fact, this time also. There might be other reasons also, but it has been standing with us. There have been some Arabic countries, there have been some Muslim countries which have come in support of India this time, thanks to the efforts by our honorable Minister for External Affairs, Mr. Jaishankar. Okay,
Yes,
so
Shankar.
we have the support. UK has come in support of us. France spoke to us. Now, see, no one is going to come and fight your war. We have to
Hmm.
fight our own war. We have to understand that. As far as people are speaking about it, people are talking about it, and people are not interfering in this matter. You can call it a support from them. Right? See, challenges will give you more opportunities. Right? If we think about, if we start begging and we start looking here and there, on support karega, things will not. Right? We
Hmm.
have to take, we have to stand our own ground, which we have done, and you see people will start supporting us on their own, right? And India is one of the developing countries. It's already
Hmm.
a rising nation. It is about to overtake Japan also, and it has overtook UK. It has about to overtake Japan as far as the GDP is concerned, right? So things are improving. And yes, your point which you said that war brings down the economy, but only thing I would like to say is that sometimes you have to take a stand, and you have to remember that I'll sum up with one small Hindi saying, जब कीचड़ पे पत्थर मारोगे तो कपड़े तो अपने भी गंदे होंगे.
Hmm. Yeah.
If we have to improve our situation, we have to fight, and we have to fight. We have to be ready for some expenditure.
Yeah. So basically, you support the ceasefire, or you don't support the ceasefire?
I think that was a wise decision. That was a wise decision, keeping the things development of things at that point of time. I'm sure
Hmm.
the leadership has taken the correct decision, and we must support the decision. See, right? What I believe, my personal opinion is that no decision is good or bad. Right? Once you take a decision, you stand by it. That is more important, and how you support your decision is more important. That is my personal opinion. And as far as the ceasefire decision is concerned, see, no one wants war. No one wants to lose lives.
Hmm.
As far as the message is clear, the next time you do it, we are going to come at a more brutal force. I think ceasefire is the right decision to take.
Yeah. I think ceasefire. I also agree that this is a right decision took by the government, especially because it's a temporary one. That's why. And
New boundaries have been created. If you see, the ceasefire was done on a pretext that any other act of terrorism will be considered an act of war. So that's a new high for India. They have taken a stand and they have decided that no more. Ceasefire on such terms is a development, and it's a good development for us.
also in this situation, like a very unexpected turn has come. That is the relation of India and America. As far as I concerned, like Trump, the decision that Trump has taken to put India and Pakistan in the same pedestal, even after the terrorist act. So that has been a major setback, I think, and also our prime minister has also been affected in a way because of that thing, because like he had put India and Pakistan in the same pedestal,
I don't think
even
so.
after.
I don't think that he has put us both in the same pedestal. Yes, they have some of their investments, some of their interests in Pakistan also, but nowhere I think that the both countries are on the same pedestal. Had that been, uh,
Hmm.
Donald Trump would have been spoken otherwise. And if you read other statements by other officials from America, USA, you see total support for India only, and no one supports terrorism. So I don't think that we are in the same pedestal. But yes, maybe because of previous ties, previous relations, and investments, America might be little sympathetic towards Pakistan, but not on the same pedestal.
Okay. And is there any possibility of a nuclear war happening between India and Pakistan for the second term?
Very far-fetched idea. I think nuclear war is then it would be Third World War. Won't be India Pakistan then.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
think,
foresee a nuclear war coming. I don't
or
foresee.
a cyber war.
Cyber warfare is still on. The moment we speak, even if we are speaking, cyber warfare is on still. I mean, especially since I have been from the core of signals, I understand networks and cyber environment. I
Hmm.
see nowhere that the cyber warfare is not on. It is always on. I think, and we are doing good. We have been able to stop them in not many spaces. Cyber warfare is always on. Nuclear warfare, my personal opinion is I don't foresee it as of now.
Mhm. Also, like if we see our country itself, we have a lot of such people who are now. It is if we see the news and all, we are getting to know that a lot of people from our country itself are a spy of ISI. We can see. So there is a YouTuber named Jyoti Malhotra
Yeah.
who has been like got into this news recently, and also a couple of other names have also come up. So what do you think, so like we have ISI agents deployed in our country itself now, so yeah, do you
Sure.
think like
We
brainwashing has been a very new thing or what to our country people, or it has been like
This is not new. I mean, this isn't happening for the first time. Spies, movement of spies, raw ISI, they have been fighting for long, right?
hmm,
So this is not something new. First of all, even if they are brainwashed, they have some other problems. They are honey trapped, right? There are many issues due to which they become spies. But I think our system is robust enough. Like we are finding them. Like that shouldn't be a worry to us. I'm sure our system is also well equipped with it, and we are doing the best, and they are doing their best. It's a both side war, both two-edged sword. Both are working on the same.
absolutely. And so, lastly, just I want to know your closure on the whole conflict. And do you think the India-Pakistan conflicts would come into a point of conclusion anytime soon, or it would take a long time?
Uh, Frankly speaking, Samra, prior to Operation Sindoor, I never thought that this would ever end, right? But the way the government has taken the stand, the way they have taken the stand on the Indus Water Treaty, how they have launched Operation Sindoor, what kind of statements they have made, what kind of physical statements they have uh, made on the Pakistani territory, on the terror outfits. I think this is moving towards a closure. And hats off to the government if they move with the same vigor and if they move with the same kind of mindset, we might soon see a closer to the states.
There is a possibility.
Yeah.
Okay. So, thank you, sir, so much for giving your time for this podcast. Like, I actually wanted to do a full-fledged podcast on this topic. So, thank you so much for that. And lastly, just want to, so any message you want to give to the young generation?
I am really impressed by you how you have taken this topic and how the young generation today are, they've started thinking on these lines about nation, about unity, and how they have started devoting their time to it. I myself, I'm a second generation army officer, and after my army career, I have turned into corporate trainer, where I try to go to schools, I try to go to colleges, where I can help the students as well as professionals bringing up their own careers, and motivating them and channelizing their energy in the right direction. So why not? I mean, if we move towards in the correct right direction, if we develop ourselves correctly, if we develop ourselves, we develop our own personality, as a result the country progresses, and that is what we want. If the more we develop, the more we progress, we become a developed nation, we are able to help each other in developing our country. And that is what the neighbors fear. They don't want us to develop, and that is why they keep these small skirmishes. They keep disturbing us. We should not be disturbed by these. We should focus on what we have to do and serve our nation in whatever capacity we can.
Absolutely, sir. So I was just talking about this point only because if we see Pakistan main aim has been always to attack India in some or the other way. So that's why their only investment is in terrorism, goes into terrorism only. There is no investment into hospitality or education. They're strongly funding on. But our country has been investing on major startups into education, into science and technology as well. So yeah, that's about it. And thank you so much again, sir, for coming on the podcast and giving such a good message to our viewers and everyone. So it's time to wind up the podcast, and thank you so much again. And thank you for giving the time and coming to the podcast and giving your point of view on the Pahalgam attack. Thank you so
Thank you,
much,
sir.
sir.
Thank you, Sama. Thank you so much.